Hey, what's going on, guys? Tony here, coming at you with another video. And I know it's a little bit later, and you guys, I probably already know what you guys are thinking. Oh my god, Tarnacle, you said you upload every day at 12. Why you half lie to me? And I can understand why you guys would probably be like, well, Tony, you said that you were supposed to do this every single day at this time, and you just haven't done it only a week in. And I have a very good reason for this, actually. You might think that I'm just going to make an excuse, but I actually do have a very good reason, and I am going to share that reason with you. You probably already tell from the title, though, and that is I'm going to do a little run through. I got myself a new PC. For the most part, everything's pretty new. I had a couple other upgrades that I had in my previous computer that I swapped into this one as well that were pretty up to date. But this is just going to be so I can make better videos, have quicker render times, handle more processes, so my streams are just going to get better with quality and content in them, so I can, you know, make sure that everything's going to be running appropriately. So I'll show you guys kind of what I had to start with and kind of what we have now in the future for the channel, and I am extremely excited about it. So I'll show you what I had before. Okay, guys, so I'm a little far from the mic, so I'm kind of trying to lean in to start with, but I'm gonna probably have to lift this up for a second to show you. So this is what we had before, right? This was the computer right here. As you can see, still a pretty big boy, right? It's a mid-tower case, and it's an NZXT Phantom 410. It's a black and orange edition, which they actually don't make anymore. And when I got this thing, it was probably, you know, 4 years ago. I'll hold on to it right now like it's my baby, but it's no longer my baby. It's grown out and it's actually dead. So rip. But when I got this computer, it was probably 4 years ago. The processor that I got was an i5 4690K. I had a GTX 760 in it. When I first got it, I had 8 gigs of DDR3 RAM and a 1 terabyte hard drive. I think it was like a 600 watt power supply, and just trying to go the stuff off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure that was it. And very like the Cooler Master 212 Evo stock cooling fan, the thing that costs like 20 bucks. So it still got kind of warm. It's a pretty cool case. I actually like this part. You see this? You press a button and this little thing opens up. You see it, and then there's like, you can put a CD drive there, but who uses those anymore? Am I right, or am I right? But yeah, it was a pretty good case. As I'm actually taking off the thumb screws for one of the ports, I'll let you guys see inside of it, kind of see how it was, and show you. You know, it's kind of, you know, it's barren now. Basically, I just took out the stuff that I didn't need. Let me throw this down next to me. So this is kind of what I was working with before. The inside, you can see my old motherboard is still in there. The fan is in there, as well as the RAM sticks and everything. Wi-Fi card is in there, but this is, in case anyone wanted to see, that's kind of like the inside of a PC, kind of how it looks. And from that, I had made a few upgrades, you know, maybe like a year or so ago with my computer to try to make it a little bit better. Now, the first of those upgrades was actually a power supply. See right here, I've got the EVGA 750 G3 Supernova power supply. It was basically just a way to, you know, we had a really cheap power supply. Me and my friend, we basically had the same computer, just different cases that we made, and the power supply was really cheap. And this one is a much newer one. It can handle a lot more power, and that's very good, especially if you're running multiple processes like I do most of the time. That's really good to have. So that was the first upgrade I made, and this was in my old computer. And then more recently, probably like last fall, I actually upgraded the graphics card. So this is the graphics card that I got. It's the GeForce GTX 1070 Gaming X. You can't really see it. There you go. Gaming X. It's got was it 8 gigs of RAM? Yeah, DDR5 in it, and it's got VR capabilities and everything. And this is a really damn good card. At the time, you might be surprised, it only cost me $450, and it's currently priced higher than that. These at one time actually were going for $900. That was with the whole Bitcoin BS of people buying graphics cards like it was nothing. Like the last like 6 months, if you were trying to buy a graphics card, you were in some deep doo-doo, right? Because the stuff was so expensive from everyone trying to buy them. They just, you know, they upped the prices because people still wanted to mine their Bitcoin, and that's going really great right now. But I upgraded this bad boy. Really happy with it. It's extremely powerful. It's freaking massive too, actually. Compared to my old graphics card, the 760, this 1070 is massive, and it was really good. So those were the only 2 upgrades I made on my previous computer, and you know, it just eventually we got to a point, you know, I've had the computer about 4.5 years, where some of the parts start to perform not as great. You know, the motherboard area itself, you know, with the motherboard, the CPU, the RAM and stuff was just all becoming a little bit outdated, and you know, I found that it was time to make a change. So that's what I did. I ordered a bunch of parts and actually spent the day today building the computer with my good friend that you know, I had built my first PC with as well, just because I don't trust myself. I have really shaky hands and I didn't want to mess up my processor. So I'll go into depth and kind of show you guys what the stuff I got that I'm putting in there if you guys are interested in that, and then I'm going to show a little bit later a run through of my setup and how it looks now, and show you what the new rig looks like finished. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. So moving on to the first part that I added. So the first item, if you can see right here, is an Intel i7 8700K. This is pretty much top of the line processor right now. Ran me about, I think it was like 360 for this USD for this one, and this is a massive upgrade. Going just from an i5 to an i7, you're going to see a substantial power increase, but also going from a series that was 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, to something that's, you know, brand new, kind of you know, one of the best processors that Intel has to offer, is really good. And so I, for obvious reasons, went with this, more processing power. You know, I think this has 12 cores in it, and it's just going to run much better. I think my other processor only had 4 cores, and it stayed at 3.5 gigahertz, and this bad boy currently is at like 4.6 or 4.7, overclocked a little bit. So it's running really well, and I'm extremely happy about this, and hopefully this is going to solve those issues in Dominion when I would lag, because all my processing stuff was being eaten up and my processor sucked. So hopefully this is going to be solving that problem, so fingers crossed. But I'm really happy with this purchase. Now, as I said before, my cooling fan that you saw is actually still in my computer was the old one that I used, and it was a 212 Evo. It was just a simple fan that you mount on top of the processor with the thermal paste and all of that good stuff. So I figured it was probably time to upgrade to liquid cooling, and that's exactly what I did with this. It's the Corsair H100i V2 water cooling system, and it is really nice. It's got a really cool interface that you can go through to set how, you know, how high you want your fans to be running, if you want it, you know, quieter just so you don't hear all the noise, or if you want to set to more performance levels. And it's just going to make sure that while I'm running all of my intensive processes, that everything is going to be nice and cool, and you know, it works much more effectively than my old case. I think my old case maybe only had 2 fans. It had a top fan, one in the bottom, and then the fan that I had mounted on the processor. And then this one we have the 2 fans that are mounted, you know, as you can see on there. And then I have like 2 more fans in my case as well. So the airflow is going to be really good, and that is super important. You don't want your, you know, I have a hot bedroom as it is, and you don't want your computer to be kind of going bonkers and overheating, because that's when your parts can get fried. So really happy with this purchase as well. Right here, if you can see, we have Corsair Vengeance LPX RAM. As you can see, it is 2 by 8 gigabytes, meaning 16 gigabytes of RAM that I purchased. So this is DDR4 RAM. My last computer had DDR3, and that is pretty much obsolete right now. DDR4 is kind of the way to go, and DDR5 is honestly kind of, I think it's out right now, but it's not, you know, really widely publicly used yet. It's probably going to be another year or two before that happens, but I went with this. It costs about maybe like 170 for 16 gigs of it, so it is not cheap, I'll tell you that right now, but it is really good, works really well, and I have the speed up right now to like 3,000 on this, which I think it came stock at like 2133, so upped it by almost 1,000, so that's really good. And obviously with these upgrades you need something to house that, meaning a motherboard, and this is what we got. So as you can see, it's an Asus Z370 e-gaming motherboard. It's really cool. It's got RGB on it, so there's like colors kind of like flashing on the motherboard at all times, and it looks really neat, and you'll see that when I show you my computer. But it is really, really cool looking. It's got some nice silver accents on it as well, and obviously it is compatible to house the RAM and my processor and everything on there to make sure that everything runs smoothly. There's no way I would be transferring my old board into this. That would be pretty much a downgrade. But this thing right here, really, really nice. I think it sent me back maybe like close to 200 for this one, but it is one of the nicest motherboards that are out right now. So I do highly recommend it. Just from all the reviews and stuff that people say on it, is really good, and I hope it's gonna do the same for me. And lastly but not least, we got this box. It's pretty cool. It doesn't really do anything. It can hold some contents. No, but actually this was a box that had I bought another hard drive, so I don't even need to show that. I bought a Western Digital Caviar Blue 1 terabyte hard drive, so I have 2 terabyte hard drives in it right now. Well, 2 1 terabyte hard drives, so 2 terabytes of storage and in it right now. So that was just another thing I wanted to have, just so I could, I was running somewhat low on my main drive. I think I maybe have like 150 gigs left, and so you don't want to get that filled up and then have to go through all the struggle of having to delete a bunch of stuff. Don't really want to go through that, so I just got another one. Included with all of this as well, I have a SSD that I had transferred actually over from my main computer before, and it was a Samsung 850 EVO 250 gigabyte SSD, and so it's just used to put like my operating system on, and some main programs, so that the load times are much quicker. Putting it on a solid state drive does that, and that is it's really good for boot times and loading times and whatnot. So it's pretty essential to get that, and that's another thing that I had transferred over. And obviously I need something to house all of this stuff. You see, I'm recording this and I showed you my case, my old case, so I obviously got a new case, right? Let me grab this box. It's gonna be kind of hard to show in the picture. Man, the box is still heavy. This is not the good, so it'll be better when I actually show it to you. But this is right here. You can kind of get a glimpse of it. Almost. That's close enough. It is a. Let me get this out of here. That is the Fantex Eclipse P400. It's a mid ATX case. It's black, got a little bit of white accents on it, and it looks really, really nice. I am thoroughly pleased with how it looks. It's much more simple than my other case, and it's not. My case is kind of like a glossy finish to it, so it gets fingerprints on it a lot. This one has more of like a matte finish, so that those smudges don't show up as much. There is tempered glass on it though, so that will show some of those smudge marks. But other than that, it is quite nice, and it's actually much smaller than my other case, but it's still a mid ATX, and it still held everything pretty good. So that's always nice, right? To make sure your case holds your components. So I'm actually gonna go and show the setup now. Alright everyone, so the way in which I'm doing this is probably not the most effective. You're probably going to see the camera shaking around a bunch, as you can currently see, but I'm just trying to use the webcam to record the setup, and I'll just show you kind of everything piece by piece, kind of how everything looks, and we'll go from, we'll just kind of see. This is what I everyday game on. So starting over here, you see we have a really dirty mouse pad, and then right here is a SteelSeries Rival 300 mouse. Get the actual look of it right there. It's really simple. It's got just 2 extra buttons on the side that you can bind stuff to for like Fortnite and things. But it's a nice mouse. It costs about $60, and I've really liked it. I like the bigger mice because I have a bigger hand, and it just fits a little bit nicer ergonomically. And over here next we have the keyboard, which is a Logitech G710 Plus. A lot of my stuff you can see was kind of orange accented because I had an orange case before. We'll do a little aerial view right here. It's got also lights, so you can turn it up right there, and then you can also turn it down. So each level it goes down a little bit, and then till you can turn it off. It's really nice. I really like this keyboard a whole lot. It's got cherry brown keys, if anyone's wondering. And then a nice little wrist guard there at the bottom. Over there, that's just my router. Right here, right in your face, we've got the microphone, the Blue Snowball. Got a little pop filter, and then an arm stand in which we can swivel and go there, and that's hooked into the computer. So yeah, that's just, it's hooked up just by a little clamp that goes into the desk. Then it comes up here. Really nice. The arm stand probably costs $10. Pop filter probably costs like $5, and the mic itself probably costs like $50. So it's not that expensive. Right here, this is my second monitor. It's more of a watch videos, keep track of chat and everything. I don't remember the exact model, but it is a 24-inch BenQ 60 hertz monitor. It was the first monitor I ever got, and it has served me well. So I use it as my second monitor, but this is my main monitor. As you can see, the OBS Inception. This is what I game on. This is, you know, everything on here, because this is also a BenQ 24-inch monitor, but this is a 144 hertz monitor. So and it's got a 1 millisecond response time. So the refresh rate on this bad boy is much better. It makes games look way nicer, and it's got like blue light reduction, so it doesn't hurt your eyes as much to kind of look at it, and it is pretty, just overall really good. This one was a little bit more expensive. This one probably cost like $350 to get, while this one was probably only like $160. So everything there is, you know, these I've had these, you know, I got this one maybe 2 years ago, and I've had this for like 4 years. So they both work really well. No complaints with them so far. So yeah, BenQ has great monitors. And then this is my chair kind of part of it. You can see the arm is kind of broken. Let me see if I stand up, if you can see it a little bit better. This is the chair. No DX Racer, unfortunately, but it's just a really nice office leather chair, and I really like it. It's really comfortable. Having a good chair is an essential part of any gaming setup, especially, you know, sitting there for long hours while streaming. Got to make sure your tush is comfortable and you have good back support. But now we will get to the piece de la résistance. Probably said that wrong, but we'll get to the computer. I apologize if the lighting's bad, because we're going under my desk and there's not great light in my room as there is, but we'll try to get a nice look at it. Alright, if you guys actually saw how my mic is positioned right now, you guys would probably laugh really hard, because I'm sitting on the floor. But this is the new case. It is, like I said, the Fantech Eclipse P400, and it's really nice. It's got nice white accents there at the bottom. It's got a little light there. The power button's got a nice little light on it. And it is just really nice, because if we look in here, I don't know how great the lighting is. I'm trying to, I know you have a little glare from this flashlight that I'm trying to shine on it so you can get a better look. But that is the RGB from the motherboard, looking really nice in there. The big tubing area that you see kind of in there, that goes down and kind of swirls, is the CPU cooler. This red thing right there, that's the graphics card. All of the drives are housed in this white box area. The power supply's back there. And there's some extra fans kind of going through there and whatnot. And the RAM is actually on the side, if you can see a little bit right there. You should see 2 sticks of RAM. So this is the new computer. I think it looks absolutely wonderful. I am absolutely in love with it, and it is running really well so far. Haven't had much experience with it, but like 20 minutes, but it's running good so far. Hasn't exploded, so that's really nice to see. Yeah, this is pretty much everything I wanted to show you guys, just to show kind of why there hasn't been a video today, because I've been making improvements for the sake of us, so we can grow as both a channel and a community and have more quality content put out quicker, and just have everything running spectacular while we do it, and that's always a good thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. It's something different, something new. If you guys were curious about what my setup looks like, this has been acquired through all of like 4 or 5 years, And yes, this has been my own money from working jobs and just saving up so I could buy this. I don't really spend my money on other things. I don't like, spend it on clothes or cars or any of that. I just like to spend it on gaming stuff, and this is the result of that. So I am very happy with it. I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also support me on Patreon, which the link to that will be in the description, and as well go to Discord if you want to stay up to date with all the latest videos and streams for the channel. I greatly appreciate all of your support. As always, my name is Tony. I will talk to you in the next one. Peace.